Dim the lights, settle in, and prepare yourself for stories that will haunt your dreams and send shivers down your spine. Here at Tombstone Tales, we delve into the darkest corners of the internet, unearthing chilling stories of the supernatural, the unexplained, and the downright terrifying. From shadowy figures lurking in the night to sinister secrets buried deep in forgotten history, each episode is crafted to immerse you in a world of fear and fascination. Hit that subscribe button, join our community of thrill seekers, and embark on a journey where every whisper could be a warning and every shadow a threat. Are you ready to face your fears? Then let the story time begin. It all started innocently enough, as these things often do. I was deep in the bowels of the internet, exploring the dark web for the latest in cryptocurrency trends. Bitcoin had been my gateway drug, pulling me into a world where digital currency promised untold riches. But I was hungry for more. I wanted the edge, the next big thing that no one else had yet discovered. I was browsing through the usual forums and marketplaces when I stumbled upon a thread titled "Murder Coin, the Future of Crime." Caught my eye immediately. The concept was chillingly simple. A cryptocurrency designed specifically for paying hitmen and mercenaries. My curiosity was piqued. This wasn't just about making money anymore. It was about power. I bookmarked the thread and returned to it several times, fascinated by the discussion. Users shared stories of their experiences with Murder Coin, each one more sinister than the last. The anonymity of the dark web allowed them to speak freely, revealing details that would otherwise remain hidden. It was a glimpse into a world I had never imagined. The more I read, the more intrigued I became. I had to know more. Who was behind Murder Coin? How did it work? And most importantly, how could I use it to my advantage? My mind raced with possibilities, each one more enticing than the last. The thread I would view were filled with testimonials from anonymous users claiming they'd used it to solve all their problems. Some had eliminated business rivals, others had taken out personal enemies. The stories were varied, but one thing was consistent. It worked. I decided to dig deeper. I started by tracing the origins of the thread. It led me to a user with the handle Death Dealer. Their posts were cryptic but pointed to an invite-only forum. I managed to secure an invite through some old contacts and soon found myself in a place that felt like a virtual underworld. The forum was a maze of dark corridors, each leading to more secrets and hidden truths. I spent hours navigating its depths, piecing together the puzzle of Murder Coin. The users were cautious, wary of outsiders, but I was persistent, slowly gaining their trust and extracting valuable information. I learned that Murder Coin was built on a blockchain similar to Bitcoin but with enhanced privacy features. Transactions were untraceable, making it the perfect currency for illegal activities. The creators had gone to great lengths to ensure its security, employing advanced encryption techniques and decentralized networks. As I delved deeper, I discovered a network of hitmen and mercenaries who accepted Murder Coin as payment. They operated in the shadows, carrying out their contracts with ruthless efficiency. The forum was a marketplace of death, where life was bought and sold with the click of a button. The forum was unlike anything I had seen before. It was filled with listings for weapons, drugs, and other illicit services. But the most popular section was dedicated to Murder Coin. There were detailed guides on how to use it, how to contact hitmen, and even tips on avoiding law enforcement. It was a one-stop shop for anyone looking to delve into the darker side of life. I spent hours reading through the posts, learning everything I could. Finally, I decided to make a move. I created an anonymous wallet and purchased my first Murder Coins. It was surprisingly easy. The transaction was quick, and the coins were now sitting in my digital wallet, waiting to be used. My heart raced with excitement and fear. I was venturing into uncharted territory, stepping into a world of shadows and secrets. The power of Murder Coin was now at my fingertips, and I was eager to see what it could do. There was a local politician in my town who had been making life difficult for small business owners like myself. He was corrupt, taking bribes from large corporations and pushing through legislation that hurt the little guy. I hated him. I knew he had to go. I accessed the forum and found a reputable hitman. The process was disturbingly straightforward. A few messages back and forth, a payment of murder coins, and the deal was done. Within a week, the politician was dead, an apparent victim of a mugging gone wrong. The news of his death spread quickly, and the town was in shock. But for me, it was a moment of triumph. The rush of power was intoxicating. I had done it. I had used murder coin to remove an obstacle from my path, and no one suspected a thing. I felt a surge of confidence, knowing that I had the means to eliminate anyone who stood in my way. Murder coin had given me the power to shape my destiny, to control my fate. The possibilities were endless, and I was just getting started. Emboldened by my success, I started using murder coin to take out other business owners, competitors who stood in my way, people who had wronged me in the past. One by one, they all fell, and with each death, my business grew stronger. I carefully selected my targets, ensuring that each hit would benefit my business in some way. I hired hitmen to take out rivals, to eliminate threats, to pave the way for my success. The forum became my command center, a place where I could orchestrate my rise to power. Soon, my company was the leading business in the city. I was wealthy beyond my wildest dreams. Money flowed in from all directions, and I could afford anything I wanted. I had power, influence, and control. Murder coin had changed my life, but with success came new challenges. I had to maintain my empire, to protect my interests, to stay ahead of my enemies. The stakes were higher, and the game was more dangerous. But I was ready, armed with the power of murder coin and the knowledge I had gained from the dark web. But not everyone was blind to my rise. A local detective named Miller started to suspect something was amiss. He had been investigating the string of murders and had started to see a pattern. Miller was tenacious, a bulldog of a man who didn't let go once he got his teeth into something. His reputation for solving the unsolvable had earned him respect and fear in equal measure. It began with a visit to my office. Miller showed up unannounced, his sharp eyes taking in everything. I greeted him with a forced smile, masking my irritation.
"Hey, Mr. Kosovic,"
he said, extending a hand.
"Detective Miller. I hope you don't mind me stopping by. I just have a few questions about some recent developments in the area."
"Of course, Detective," I replied, shaking his hand. "Please, come in." We sat in my office, a place designed to impress with its luxurious decor and commanding view of the city. Miller, however, seemed unimpressed. He cut straight to the chase.
"I understand you've had quite the success with your business lately."
He began, his tone casual but his eyes probing.
"A lot of your competitors have had unfortunate incidents. Quite a coincidence, hey?"
I maintained my composure, meeting his gaze. "Business can be tough, Detective, but I assure you, I have nothing to do with any of those incidents. Just a string of bad luck for them, I suppose." Miller leaned back, studying me.
"Bad luck indeed. Funny thing about bad luck, it seems to follow some people more than others. And your name keeps coming up."
I feigned surprise, shaking my head. "I'm not sure what you're implying, Detective, but I run a clean operation here. My success is built on hard work and smart decisions."
"Smart decisions?"
Miller echoed, nodding slowly.
"Like hiring certain individuals to take care of problems?"
I felt a chill run down my spine but kept my expression neutral. "I don't know what you're talking about." Miller stood up, straightening his coat.
"I'm sure you don't. But I'll be around, and I'll be watching."
As he left, I felt a knot of tension in my stomach. Miller was a threat and he needed to be dealt with. I couldn't afford to let him dig any deeper. I thought, what made him think he was untouchable? Back at my computer, I logged onto the dark web forum and found a reputable hitman. The process was disturbingly straightforward. A few messages back and forth, a payment of murder coins, and the deal was done. 2 days later, Detective Miller was found dead in his car, a victim of what appeared to be a random robbery gone wrong. The news of his death spread quickly, and the police were shaken. Miller had been one of their best. I felt a sense of relief but also a growing paranoia. If Miller had seen the pattern, others might too. I had to stay one step ahead to protect myself and my empire. The incident left me on edge, a reminder that my power came with a constant threat of exposure. That night, I sat in my office, reflecting on the day's events. My phone buzzed with a message from the hitman. Job done. No loose ends. I replied with a simple thank you and stared out the window at the city below. My empire was built on a foundation of fear and violence, and I was its ruler. But there would always be people like Miller, determined to uncover the truth, to bring me down. My informant fed me valuable information, allowing me to anticipate and neutralize any threats. I used murder coin to bribe officials, to manipulate investigations, to ensure my safety. The network of corruption grew, and my power extended beyond the business world. I had judges, prosecutors, and key figures in the police department on my payroll, all thanks to murder coin. Whenever a new detective was assigned to a case that could threaten me, I knew about it before they even started. I used the information to discredit them, planting evidence or spreading rumors that would derail their careers. It was a game of chess, and I was always several moves ahead. I continued to grow my empire, each day becoming more ruthless and cunning. I was on top of the world. But as they say, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. To maintain my control, I had to ensure that Johnson remained loyal and fearful. One night, I called him to meet at an even more isolated location, a derelict warehouse on the outskirts of town. The place was deserted, echoing with the sound of our footsteps as we walked through the darkness.
Why here?
Johnson asked, his voice trembling. I needed to remind you of the consequences of betrayal, I said, my tone icy. You're too important to me, Johnson, and I need to know I can trust you.
You can. I haven't said a word to anyone.
He insisted. I know, I replied, pulling out a flash drive. But just in case you ever get any ideas, this contains everything on you. One click, and it's sent to every news outlet, every law enforcement agency in the state. He stared at the flash drive, his fear palpable.
I'll do as you say.
Good. Keep feeding me the information I need, and you'll stay rich and safe. But cross me, and you'll lose everything. My success had not gone unnoticed. The local mafia, an organization that had long held a grip on the city's underworld, saw how powerful my business had become and wanted a share of the profits. Their approach was anything but subtle. It started with an unexpected visit. One evening, as I was closing up shop, a group of men in sharp suits entered my office. Their leader, a man named Vincenzo, exuded a menacing calm.
Mr. Kosovic.
Vincenzo greeted me with a smile that didn't reach his eyes.
You've been doing very well for yourself. My boss is impressed.
Thank you, I replied cautiously. What can I do for you, gentlemen? Vincenzo's smile widened, but there was no warmth in it.
It's not about what you can do for us. It's about what we can do for you. You see, in this city, success comes with certain obligations.
I don't follow, I said, though I knew exactly where this was headed.
Let's not play games.
Vincenzo said, his tone hardening.
You're making a lot of money, and my boss wants his cut. Call it a protection fee.
I leaned back in my chair, meeting his gaze. I'm not interested. Vincenzo's smile vanished.
You should reconsider. It would be a shame if something were to happen to your business.
The mafia wasn't used to being told no. They made threats, trying to intimidate me. Late-night phone calls, broken windows, and even a firebombing attempt on one of my warehouses. They were relentless, but I had anticipated this. I was prepared. I logged into the dark web forum, where I had previously hired hitmen. This time, I was looking for something bigger. I needed a team of mercenaries, highly trained and ruthless. Murder Coin made the transaction seamless. Within days, I had assembled a team capable of taking on the mafia. The operation was swift and brutal. My mercenaries tracked the mafia leader to his mansion on the outskirts of the city. It was a heavily guarded fortress, but my team was well prepared. They infiltrated the estate under the cover of darkness, eliminating guards with silent precision. Inside, they found the mafia leader in his study, surrounded by luxury and arrogance. There was no room for negotiation. The leader's death was quick, a single bullet to the head. The rest of the organization crumbled without its head, unable to maintain its grip on power. For a while, everything seemed perfect. I was untouchable, living a life of luxury and power. But then, things started to unravel. My informant within the police turned on me, demanding more money and threatening to expose me if I didn't comply. Paranoia set in and I started to make mistakes. One night, as I sat in my lavish home, I received an anonymous message. It was a video of me, recorded through my own computer's webcam. I was being watched. Someone had hacked into my system, gathering evidence of all my transactions and communications on the dark web. Panic set in as I realized the gravity of the situation. If this information were to be released, it would be the end of me. I had to act quickly to find and eliminate the threat. Panicked, I tried to trace the hacker. It led me back to the forum where it all began. Death Dealer was behind it. They had been watching me from the start, using me as a test subject for Murder Coin. Every move I made, every hit I ordered, it was all part of their grand experiment. In a final act of desperation, I attempted to contact Death Dealer. They responded with a chilling message. "Thank you for your contributions. You've proven the power of Murder Coin beyond our wildest dreams." The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. I had been a pawn in someone else's game, manipulated and controlled. My success, my wealth, my power, it was all part of their plan. I was nothing more than a tool, used to demonstrate the capabilities of Murder Coin. With the revelation that I was a pawn in someone else's game, I realized I had to play my cards right. I needed to regain control, to turn the tables. I used the last of my Murder Coins to hire a hacker of my own, someone who could help me find and eliminate Death Dealer. The hacker was good, very good. They traced Death Dealer to a physical location. It was a remote, abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of a neighboring city. I knew it was a trap, but I had no choice. I had to confront them to end this once and for all. Armed with a gun and my remaining Murder Coins, I made my way to the warehouse. The place was dark and eerie, with only the sound of my footsteps echoing through the empty halls. I found Death Dealer, sitting at a makeshift desk, multiple monitors displaying various live feeds and data streams.
"Welcome,"
they said without turning around.
"I was wondering when you'd show up."
I raised my gun, aiming it at the back of their head. "I'm ending this," I said, my voice trembling with a mix of fear and anger.
"No, you won't."
They replied, slowly turning to face me. Their face was hidden behind a mask, but their eyes were cold and calculating.
"You think you can kill me and walk away? You've already lost."
I hesitated. For the first time, I felt truly powerless. Death Dealer reached into a drawer and pulled out a small device.
"This is a dead man's switch. If you kill me, all the evidence I've collected on you gets sent to every major law enforcement agency in the country."
I was trapped. Killing Death Dealer would seal my fate, but letting them live meant they still had control over me. I lowered my gun, my mind racing for a solution. "What do you want?" I asked, desperation creeping into my voice.
"Join me,"
they said simply.
"With your resources and my network, we can control the world. No one will be able to stop us."
It was tempting. The power, the wealth, the control, all of it within my grasp. But I knew I couldn't trust them. I had to find another way. I decided to play along to bide my time. "All right," I said, lowering the gun completely. "I'll join you, but I want guarantees."
Smart move.
Death Dealer replied.
You'll have everything you ever wanted and more.
We spent hours discussing the plan, the future of Murder Coin, and how we would expand our empire. I played the role of a willing partner, all the while plotting my next move. Over the next few months, I worked closely with Death Dealer, gaining their trust and learning their secrets. Our collaboration was intense, filled with late-night strategy sessions and countless encrypted messages. Death Dealer was brilliant, but they were also arrogant. They believed they were invincible, and that arrogance was their fatal flaw. Our partnership flourished, and as I learned more about the inner workings of the Murder Coin operation, I began to see its potential. Death Dealer had created a powerful tool, but they lacked the vision to take it to the next level. That vision, I realized, was my ultimate goal, to take control and eliminate them. Gaining Death Dealer's trust was a delicate dance. I had to play the role of the loyal partner, all the while plotting their downfall. I shared ideas for expansion, suggesting new markets and strategies to increase our reach. I praised their brilliance, feeding their ego and deepening their trust in me. "I couldn't have done this without you," I would tell them during our late-night calls. "Your vision is unmatched. Together, we can achieve greatness."
Thank you.
Death Dealer would reply, their voice filled with pride.
I knew you were the right person for this. We're going to change the world.
But behind my flattering words, I was always watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. One night, that opportunity finally came. Death Dealer had let their guard down, trusting me completely. They had shared everything with me, encryption keys, access codes, even the locations of their backup servers. They believed our partnership was unbreakable. I had secretly hired another hitman, paid in Murder Coin, to take them out. The hitman was a professional, someone I had used before and trusted implicitly. The plan was simple but risky. If anything went wrong, I would be exposed. The night of the operation, I felt a mixture of anticipation and fear. I waited for the signal, my heart pounding in my chest. Then, the message came, "It's done." Death Dealer was eliminated. Their body found in their safe house, an apparent victim of a home invasion gone wrong. The authorities were baffled, but there was no evidence to link the crime to me. The hitman had been thorough, leaving no traces. With Death Dealer gone, I moved quickly to destroy all the evidence they had on me. I accessed their servers, wiping them clean. I eliminated any trace of our communications, ensuring that nothing could be traced back to me. It was a meticulous process, but one that I executed flawlessly. I also took steps to secure my own safety. I changed all my encryption keys, moved my funds to new wallets, and severed any connections that could lead back to me. I left no stone unturned, no loose ends. With Death Dealer out of the picture, I took over the entire Murder Coin operation. I expanded it, making it more powerful and secretive than ever. I implemented new security measures, ensuring that our transactions were even more untraceable. I recruited the best hackers and cybersecurity experts, building a fortress around our network. I also diversified our operations, branching out into new areas. We started offering services beyond contract killings, money laundering, identity theft, corporate espionage. Murder Coin became the currency of choice for all manner of illicit activities, and our profits soared. My wealth and influence grew exponentially. I invested in legitimate businesses, using them as fronts for our operations. I acquired luxury properties, private jets, and a fleet of high-end cars. I lived a life of unparalleled luxury, all while maintaining a low profile. As my empire expanded, I consolidated my power. I eliminated any potential threats, using Murder Coin to hire hitmen and mercenaries as needed. I maintained a network of informants within law enforcement, ensuring that I was always one step ahead of any investigations. I also took steps to protect my inner circle, ensuring their loyalty through a mix of rewards and fear. Those who served me well were richly rewarded, while those who betrayed me met swift and brutal ends. My reputation for ruthlessness ensured that no one dared to cross me. I became a figure of legend in the criminal underworld, a shadowy kingpin whose influence extended across continents. No one could touch me. I had everything I had ever wanted, and more. As I sat in my penthouse, overlooking the city that I now controlled, I couldn't help but reflect on my journey. From a small business owner struggling to make ends meet, I had risen to become one of the most powerful and feared men in the world. Murder Coin had indeed changed my life. I thought about the people I had eliminated, the lives I had destroyed, and the empire I had built. It was a dark and twisted path, but it had led me to where I was now. I was untouchable, a master of the shadows. "Thank you, Murder Coin," I whispered to myself. "You've given me everything." And with that, I raised a glass to my success, to my new empire, and to the future that lay ahead. The darkness had become my ally, and I had become its master. I knew there would always be challenges, always threats to my power. But I was ready. With Murder Coin at my side, I was unstoppable. The world was mine for the taking, and nothing could stand in my way. As I looked out over the city, I felt a sense of satisfaction, of fulfillment. I had achieved everything I had ever wanted, and more. Murder Coin had made me rich, powerful, and untouchable. And for that, I was eternally grateful.